23rd, 2022 Townsend Conservation Commission meeting. The time is now 7:04, and the meeting is called to order under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Townsend Wetland Bylaw. We'll start with roll call. Joan Savoy. Present. James Gates.
Here.
Jennifer Eaton is here, and Jim and Ann LaQueer are absent this evening. And Colby is not present, but will be joining us in a few. Okay.
Our new member, we're happy to say.
Yes. Okay. This meeting is being video recorded. Is anyone else recording the meeting? No. Chairs, additions, and deletions. I'd like to add.
Can I ask a question, Jennifer?
Of course, Veronica.
You have a quorum present.
Oh.
No, we don't.
We
You
don't
have a 6-person board. You need to have 4 people.
Thank you.
So you need to hang on a minute.
Okay. Oh, hang on.
Sorry. Thanks. I'm disappearing.
Thank you.
There it goes.
All right, thank you everybody for your patience. We'll just pick up where we left off.
We have to open the meeting.
Okay, the meeting is now open under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Townsend Wetland Bylaw.
Time.
And the time is 7:21. And Colby Streeter is now present for his very first meeting.
Here.
Great.
We should do roll call again.
No, we just.
No, you did? Okay. We can have that.
Okay. Chairs, additions, and deletions. I'd like to add 3.9. Actually, back up. 3.7, I'd like to delete the discussion about the brownfields and replace it with a discussion of ACEC and DCR. And I'd like to add 3.9, schedule BDR walk at Campbell Farm. And I'd like to add under correspondence 4.1, email from Land Use Coordinator Mike Crowley announcing the stormwater management page. And 4.2, email from Nathan Landino, New Orleans, Louisiana Service Learning at North Middlesex Regional High School.
I move we allow these, the chairman's additions and deletions.
Second. And we're all present, so.
We need a vote. We need a vote.
Yeah. All in favor? We can do all in favor because we don't have to roll call. We're present.
James, yes.
Joe Savoy, yes.
Colby. Jennifer Eaton, yes. Okay, great. Unanimous. Wonderful. Streamline process has now become dysfunctional. Okay. Chair's report. I've noticed down at Adams Dam, there are some invasives that need clearing. There is knotweed in the parking lot, and we have barberry that is prohibiting use of the trail that winds around at the end out there where you can see the bridge. Also, we're now in turtle season. Anyone who's doing work in a priority habitat will now have to file a NISA checklist.
Regardless.
Yes. And everyone needs to, if you haven't yet, complete your ethics training. And that's it. Okay, the review of and approve minutes from 2/24/2022 and 3/9/2022. Has everybody reviewed the minutes?
Do one at a time.
Approve the minutes from 2/24/2022. Can I get a motion?
Madam Chair, I move we approve the minutes from to 2422.
Second.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Joan Savoy,
Yes.
Colby Streeter, Jennifer Eaton, yes.
Unanimous.
It's unanimous. And can I get a motion to approve the?
Hold on one sec. March 9th, I wasn't able to complete yet, but I will get it done for next meeting. Sorry.
Oh, 3-9. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Agents report. Jessica.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
And these weird
Nice
headphones.
headphones.
Okay. Oh
Pretty
my
sweet
gosh.
headset.
I'm prepped for our executive session later. All right. Agent report from March 7th to March 18th, 2022. 3 building permit interdepartmental sign-offs, 125 South Grove Road, 7 Maplewood Drive, 224 North End Road. Today, referral for 169 Walls Hill Road, no septic sign-offs. Still ongoing draft rewording for the Wetlands Bylaw, Chapter 138, and Wetland Regulations, Chapter 150. To date, we have completed, or to date of this report, we have completed 5 site visits for conservation-owned land. We're still reviewing the order of conditions and certificates of compliance from the past 3 years to determine which of those may still be active or outstanding. To date, we have reached out to 3 applicants. The NOI or the order of conditions for 82 Ball Road was mailed out March 16th. We are still on hold as of March 7th for the 46 Emery Road tree cutting. The request to amend the order of conditions was emailed to Squanicook Greenways on March 16th. We did co-sign the right of entry agreement for the tree clearing behind 1 Capricorn Lane on conservation land. I conducted desktop reviews of the brownfields in Townsend for potential wetlands presence, mailed a violation notice to 1 Warner Road, mailed a violation notice to 61 Edward Road, and proposed a few revisions to the fee schedule for the RDA applications.
What were the violations, Jessica?
I had resident reports, a few for each of those 2 properties. 1 Warner Road was for just a lot of brush and yard waste and some burn piles, and potentially like a plowed road into a wetland there. I did speak with a resident about that last week. They were unaware that there is a wetland there on their property, so I think we should be clear. And then 61 Edward Road is right there along 119, and there was lots of litter, like lawnmowers and
from the street that's going right into the wetland.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Thank you.
they, based on my drive-by today, it looks like all of the stuff was pulled out of the wetland. It's still maybe 5 or 10 feet away, but at least it was pulled out of the wetland.
Thank you. Great. Awesome. Thanks, Jessica. Okay, 2.0, we have no hearings or appointments this evening. And 3.1, can I get a motion to continue TWD 2022-120, 46 Emery Road request for, it's an RDA for removal of trees. Can we continue? Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
Joan Savoy? Yes. Colby Streeter?
Yes.
Jennifer Eaton, yes. Unanimous. 3.2, riparian buffer discussion with Al Futterman from NRWA. Al Futterman, you still with us?
I sure am. Hanging in there. We got a board meeting tonight I have to jump to after this, but thank you for having me. I have about 5 slides. May I do the screen share?
Yes.
You have to
We have to,
And do you see that?
share screen.
yep.
So thanks for having me. This particular grant is a riparian vegetated buffer. It's a U.S. Forest Service landscape scale restoration grant that Merrimack River Watershed Council is the lead partner on. And this is where I will hope to be focusing in the spring, sometime in late May. This is where the Rossback Bridge is at the intersection, and this is the Squannacook River. So it's about 1,300 feet or so. We might extend it a bit, and we're looking at about 50 feet. It's Mass Wildlife property, and Pat Huckery, the Northeast District Superintendent, has given me permission to work there. And what I will be doing is increasing the riparian buffer by planting some trees, and this just speaks to the benefits to water quality of doing an expanded riparian buffer. Ideally, it would be a 300-foot buffer, but we're looking to do about 50 feet. And this is just a couple of studies that speak to the scientific background for the importance and benefit of riparian buffers. And a screen, also a little shot of the site. It's basically is one line of existing established trees, and I hope to pull it out about 20 to 50 feet or so. And it's again a quarter mile. It's just on the west side, west bank of the river, not on the east bank. And I hope to plant these species. I'll have quite a few at my disposal, and some shrubs as well. And again, some shots of the area. And that's pretty much the extent of it. It's priority habitat. So tomorrow, if I get your consent, I will go before NHESP and do a MESA checklist. I'm also doing another couple of sites in the watershed. I could stop screen sharing, actually, unless you have any questions for me to go back to on that.
No, but thank you, Al. That's lovely. If you need volunteers, you'll let us know, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I very well may. I was just going to say I'm doing a couple of other sites this spring, and I just got my determination letter back from NHESP for a Lancaster project yesterday. So I'll file that tomorrow if you're all good with it. Any questions?
James, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I recommend that you contact the farmers that still hay that field.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Planting along there the year after they bought it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the trees got mowed down when they were haying because they weren't really marked well. So just make sure you connect with the Rossback.
Yes, in fact, in my communication with Pat Huckery, she said we'll have the Rossback brothers out there on the day of the planting, so they're well aware of where things have been planted.
And then I would still put visual aids because they're getting older.
Absolutely. Thanks for the suggestion.
I can say that because they're my in-laws.
Great.
Okay. Joan, do you have any questions? Okay. How about you, Coldly? Do you have any questions?
Well, how is this specific area identified as leading this?
I didn't hear the question, actually.
How was this one area chosen?
Oh, it's got a very, it's a quarter mile of the Squannacook River that doesn't really have much of a riparian buffer other than grass. So you can't find too many areas like this. And because it's on the wild and scenic Squannacook River, it was really high priority to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks, Al.
You do.
Oh, yeah, you bet. And, I heard you just say something about invasives by Adams Dam and in the parking lot. So through this grant, I could do, because it's a restoration grant, it's more than just planting. So I'm more than happy to talk to you about the possibility of our helping out removing those invasives.
Oh, great, Al. Thank you so much.
Yep, no problem.
What about the invasives that are along the edge of that field?
In the Rossback field?
Yeah.
Yeah, to the extent that it's knotweed, we'd knock it back, but knotweed is indestructible, as you likely know. We're certainly not going to do any spraying, so it would just have to be hand removal. Same with the barberry.
Okay.
Great.
Let me know when you go after that knotweed. I have a vendetta against it. I love pulling that stuff out.
Oh, no. Absolutely. I'll do that, Joan.
Great. Does anybody else have any questions?
No.
Okay, great.
Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Al. Thank you very much. We look forward to this.
You bet. Take care now.
Thank you. Okay, so mandatory referral notice from the planning board regarding proposed bylaw amendment to section 145-26A 10A. And this is for the, which one is this for? We have two of them. I'm sorry, I gave my copy to Cole.
The chickens. Oh, foul.
The chickens. But no roosters.
No roosters. Right, Jessica, can you tell us exactly, no roosters unless you have over 1 acre? Is that what they're proposing?
I have not.
I can get up on screen share if you want.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Yeah.
Let me see here.
Actually, Jen, you want to move this?
Yeah, you all seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody have any comments on this? It's a referral for our comments.
Yep, it's right there in bold, what they're changing.
Yep. Thank you. It's the roosters, I can see why they want you to have more than 1 acre, because nothing worse than your neighbor's rooster in your yard.
Okay.
But to be kept in a pen or enclosure?
That's tough for a rooster.
Oh, it's tough for him. Okay.
Is there any comment that you'd like to add? Nothing? Nothing within our, okay, so no, Colby?
I don't have anything right now. No.
Okay, so can I get a motion to add no comment to planning board referral regarding?
I make a motion, we add no comment to the planning board on the roosters.
Okay, Colby, are you in favor?
Yes.
Okay, favor of no comment. Joan, are you in favor
Yes.
of no comment? James, are you in favor of no comment? And yes, Jennifer is in favor of no comment. So that is unanimous for no comment. Now, we have the dog grooming, also the referral for the dog
I will pull
grooming.
that.
Thanks, Matt.
We've commented or not commented on this before. Does anybody want to give a comment on this?
Yes. What has happened is they have added a dog grooming establishment, a dog training establishment, and a doggy daycare establishment as an actual business to have in a district, and I think it's great because before we only had dog kennel.
Yeah. So we have no comment.
No comment.
Okay, great. Okay, so I get a motion?
Motion, no comment on the dog.
Okay, great.
Second.
James, are you in favor of the comment? Joan?
Yes, I'm in favor.
Colby? Yes, so that is unanimous for no comment for the second. 3.5, discussion about potential CONSCOM fee schedule revisions. Jessica, can you tell us about the streamlining of the fee schedule?
Matt, if you can throw that one up. I'll just wait for it. Yeah, so just basically, given our experience with most of the last RDA applications, an RDA does not necessarily require a wetland delineation. So it's very difficult to do a per foot of delineation fee when they do not do a delineation. So it was a little too arbitrary for that. So I am instead just proposing lump sums, but open for discussion. But I thought, given the purpose of an RDA versus an NOI, that we should try to not exceed NOI fees too much.
James, do you have a comment?
I do. what is everyone's thoughts of adding a fifth category for nonprofits? There are several in town, but to have a fee schedule that is reduced or exempt within this schedule.
What would in town would be considered a nonprofit?
Church.
A church?
Greenways.
Greenways. Any
I'm just trying to-
501c3
Yeah. Yes.
organization. 501c3.
Any 501c3.
Probably the
In the
VFW.
name of streamlining the process, I'm
not saying we have to, and I don't know what Jessica or Colby's opinion is.
So I suggest then, since that is a good idea, how about you add that column and just get it to us, and we'll vote on all the changes next meeting,
yeah, it's a live document. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Okay, great. So we will
Jessica,
table
good?
that discussion.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, we can make new fees, or if you guys wanted, depending on sort of the type of project that nonprofit is doing, we could do like they pay 75% of the fee in that sector or something like that. But
Yeah, actually, I think that's a really good idea.
Jessica, in which category, in your opinion, should it fall in? Should,
it would depend on the project. I think if, like a Habitat for Humanity came into town to do a single family house, that would be one thing. But yeah, if a church wanted to build a whole new building, I mean, that's not really commercial. It doesn't really fit in one of these. So I don't know if it makes more sense to go with its own category or a percentage of the most relatable category.
a church is considered, it is zoned commercially typically.
Okay.
If I'm correct, right, John?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So,
I think that's a good idea, the percentage for nonprofits. That's a great idea, James.
okay.
All right, so we will table this discussion and make those edits.
So how about this? Because I have one. I'd like to change the maximum from 1,300 to 1,500 per applicability. So could we make that change and add the change for nonprofits and then Matt, you could get that all to us and we'll vote it next meeting.
Sure thing.
Okay.
So this is the work session. Why don't we just figure it out of what percentage,
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's the chair's call.
You're right. Is he on? Or is he coming in?
We have to text him.
I say we make the changes in the live document and then we vote on it at the next meeting. Okay, so we'll.
I'll add my changes, Tom, if you want to add yours.
Well, did you want to throw out a percentage?
Well,
Jessica, do you have any ideas about a percentage for nonprofits?
Any strong feelings about it?
I literally just threw out 75%, but there was no reasoning behind that.
So, no.
Okay, well, we have the opportunity to be.
I will say, as much as nonprofits are great, they don't pay taxes the way that commercial businesses do, though, either. So, I don't know. I'm good with 75.
but they're also nonprofits, so any sort of savings helps them, stretch their budget. But
Are you good with 75?
yeah. Let me think about it.
All right.
Let's do the research and we will revisit it.
So how about, Madam Chair, if everybody had an idea, we'll go talk to Jessica and Matt before the next meeting, get that changed, and we'll throw up the one right
We'll
after
be
the
up for
next
a vote
meeting.
at the next meeting.
It's a live document, so we can edit it.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I motion to table this until revisions have been added or collaborated on to the next meeting.
Can I get a second?
Second.
James, are you in favor?
Yes.
Tabling this discussion. Joan, are you in favor? Colby, are you in favor?
Yes, in favor.
Jennifer Eaton, yes, in favor. So that is unanimous to table this discussion for a vote to the next meeting. Okay, so we got 3.6, review and approve the checklist for NOI submittals. There's been some revisions to that. Matt, you want to throw that up there real quick?
Yep, 1 second. For some reason.
Because he needs you.
There it is. Wait. No.
Seem to share.
Well, we all have the document, so.
Yeah, for some reason, sorry, it's not coming up when I hit share. There it is, finally, jeez.
Thank you.
Only going to have one doc open at one time, okay.
Okay. James, do you have any comments?
So you can have more than one doc open if you right click and hit open a new window.
Ah, okay. Gotcha, good to know. Thank you.
I know you just took a shot in the dark at this, Matt, so, and I appreciate it.
This is actually
me.
Jessica, yeah.
FYI.
Well, both of you, thank you. I want to see, if I recall correctly, I do remember seeing a document like this on our website. And I can look to see if I have it in my records from projects I've done at my house. So one of the things, adding the town letterhead, which is simple, but one of the items that we need to add to the checklist is a MISA filing required?
Oh yeah, I don't see that.
That one is, I just tried to generalize it. The proof of mailing / notification to other agencies from Form 3, Section 3. Section C. Section C is where all the other state agency due diligence check boxes are in the NOI application. So I left it pretty general in there.
Yeah, well,
because there's more than just MISA.
Correct, right. And so the MISA filing isn't, a check in the box because you have to go through the motions of it and, do their form. I guess the more comprehensive this is, the greater chances of success people are going to have when they try to tackle a project.
Yeah.
That's all I got, I think.
I did, again, just given our experience with the last several NOIs that have come under our review, the sort of the newer things that I did add are the narrative explaining alternatives and measures to avoid and minimize impacts to resource areas and or buffers. And then the one below that, the plan for compensatory mitigation resulting from impacts to resource areas or buffers if significant. So that seems to be a point that generally always comes up in a hearing, and which is what continues that hearing. So in an effort to try to streamline that process, if the applicant can add in that information into their application up front, we might be able to help save some time and get everyone on the same page sooner.
That makes sense. That's actually the part of doing the major pass too, so that will help them on that end.
But
So
this isn't for the applicant. This is the checklist that gets stapled inside each folder for Matt and Jessica to be able to see where we are on the process. So it's
we could put this on the website so that the applicant sees it as well.
But it's an office.
on our website, buried. I mean, buried.
But this is something that Matt and Jessica would be using.
I don't have any other comments. Jessica, Matt, it's a great start. We all know that you're going to add stuff as you go.
Yeah.
Joan, do you have anything to add to it? What about Colby? Do you have anything? Nothing to add to it. So do we want to approve it with those changes, or do we want to wait until the changes are made to take a vote?
If there's something that needs to be added that they deem should be added, are we gonna have to vote on that every single time?
No, I think we just vote to let them change it as at will.
Okay. Okay. So can I get a motion to approve the NOI checklist with changes as needed?
So
Second.
Okay. Colby, are you in favor? James Gates?
yes.
Joan Savoy?
Yes, in favor.
Jennifer Eaton, yes. That is unanimous. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we've changed this, moved it to the ACEC DCR discussion. Joan, do you want to fill us in on that?
Yes. So I have been in touch with Nancy Putnam at DCR, and she has not been able to confirm which April meeting of ours she can attend. Hopefully she'll be able to attend via Zoom to give us an introduction, because she is the ACEC guru, because she has to get permission from her supervisor, and she doesn't meet with her supervisor until tomorrow. So I will hear from her, and she'll either be at the first or the second meeting in April and give us, her introductory, I don't know what the word, I can't find the word, but, about ACECs. So she really is the know-all and be-all, which is fabulous.
So she'll be able to give us a clearer overview of ACEC and how it could potentially be enforced.
Yes, thank you for that.
Okay, great. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. 3.8, discussion of potential Chapter 138 amendment and submit comments to the BOS. Okay, so the BOS will be discussing this article amendment to General Bylaw Chapter 138, wetlands, in open session on April 5th, and we'll be placing it on the annual town meeting warrant. Veronica, Madam Liaison, is there going to be a public information session, or will that take place on April 5th?
On April 5th, we're going to discuss in the meeting, and there will be on April 21st, I believe it is. It's a Wednesday.
Yep.
Is that the 20th or the 21st? I don't have the calendar in front of me. It's a Wednesday. It's either the 20th or the 21st. I think it's the 20th. At 7 p.m., there will be a town-wide public meeting in order to discuss all of the ATM warrant articles so that people can ask questions at that point.
Great. And that will be the Wednesday, April 20th.
Yes, at 7 p.m. in the Great Hall.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Madam Liaison, I have a comment about the second sentence. We give it a.
Why don't you write those down? If you have any comments, write them down and submit them to us, please.
Okay.
Cooking dinner.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're in the kitchen. Sorry. All right.
No, it's all right, but that would be best. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so James, do you have a comment that you'd like to submit for the warrant article?
Submit it to them.
Submit it to them. Well, do we want to write our comments down and then submit them as the commission, or are we just going to submit them?
I think we could do it using Google Drive and add comments to the document. I don't know.
I think if anybody in the commission feels strongly, they should just write the selectmen a note.
Okay.
I could second that.
Okay, great. All right, so you second that. So are you in favor of submitting comments to the BOS as needed singularly? James, you're in favor?
Yes.
Joan, you were in favor?
Yes.
Colby, you in favor?
Yes.
And yes, Jennifer Eaton is in favor. So unanimously, we will submit our comments individually. Okay. Items for, oh, wait a second. Correspondence. Sorry about that. We have.
I think you added a 3.9, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. I got to rewind. 3.9. We need to schedule a BDR walk for Campbell Farm. The weather's getting nice and it's time to do this. We just voted on it a couple meetings ago, and Jessica was saying we should probably be doing, Jessica, we had talked about doing it early April, right?
Yeah, I think sort of sooner is better, before all the leaves start growing. So for those who have allergies, and then it will help us see a lot further if the leaves aren't on the trees yet.
Okay, so we voted on the Campbell Farm conservation restriction.
Okay.
Part of that contained a baseline development report, which basically shows the characteristics of the property. We are responsible for coming up with a stewardship plan. Part of that is walking the property and looking at the report and making sure that the physical attributes correspond with the report. So we should all, I think we should all be there because it's the first time we're doing it. And then after that, we can come up with a stewardship plan, and then maybe not everybody has to go moving forward.
I'm fine as long as it gets in the calendar for regular visits.
Yeah. So our first visit should be when, and we should plan it. Jessica, how long do you think it's going to take? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say an hour and a half is probably good.
Okay. Hour and a half. So let's plan for 2 hours. And what's everybody's calendar look like? You're the newest member, Colby. What does your schedule look like? When would you be able to devote 2 hours of your day?
Wasn't this usually on a Wednesday?
Well, it's not like a 15-minute site visit.
Yeah.
It's a chunk, so we have to be flexible.
Yeah, the size of the parcel is about 50 acres.
And Jessica and Matt, it would have to be on a day that you're working. So that cuts it down to Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. For that?
Myself and the families.
Uh-oh, what did I do?
Think of her that she was my.
Sorry about that.
This fantastic story that Christian told.
I don't know.
Or could you trade hours to do it on a Saturday?
Make any sense.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but Jessica's handy. Matt doesn't want to have to come all the way back in. So
I mean, I could. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
flexible.
If there's like a donut in it for him, he'd
Yeah.
Oh,
Those gas prices go down a little bit.
In the evenings and later from
Yeah. What, during the day? Would the day work? The morning?
Yeah.
I go for good. I go for a Monday or a Friday morning. That works best for me.
Monday or Friday morning. So let's do.
That's fine, either one. I wouldn't be able to do it until the week of the 11th, though.
The week of the 11th. So do you want to do Monday the 11th?
Sure. Monday the 11th, Matt and Jessica?
Yeah, works for me.
you can do that.
At what time? What time would work for everybody? On a weekday, I'm not available until, I probably couldn't get there until 9:15, but after that is flexible.
Yeah, I'm good after 9.
Anytime till 3 for me. So
I was going to say 7.
Yeah.
AM? You're kidding, right? What, 9:30? 9:30?
2 hours.
9:15?
9?
Well, they said 9.
I can't be there
She
right
can't
at
be
9.
So how about 9:30?
Okay.
All right, 9:30 on the 11th of April. Good? All right, thank
Works
you.
for me.
do Campbell Farm BDR walk Monday, April 11th at 9:30 a.m. Have to vote on that, or are we good? No, so that is scheduled.
Did you want me to invite any of the trustees to that?
Yeah, you could invite them, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
Are there objectives already for the stewardship plan? Or is that
No,
discussed then?
we could discuss it then. We could, yes, and then we'll organize a stewardship plan moving on from there, because we don't know. I haven't been on that property yet, other than to just go out, and I think I haven't been further than the fire pond. Yeah. Okay. So that'll give us an opportunity to get acquainted. Okay. So we have some correspondence. We have an email from Mike Crowley, land use coordinator, announcing a stormwater management page on the town website, and he welcomes any feedback, and you can email him with any comments on that after you've seen it. And we have 4.2 email from Nathan Landino from New Orleans Service Learning. He has 25 volunteers coming up from Louisiana offering help to CONSCOM. And they want to know if they have any projects that, and I believe I gave away the email, but I think what's the date on that, Colby? Is it April 25th that they're coming?
April 18th to the 22nd.
April 18th.
One day they wanted to be here. They said Thursday. I think they wanted to be here on the Thursday.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Is this NOLA Service Learning at North Middlesex Regional High School? Are these the high school kids?
Yes.
Local. They're not coming up from New Orleans.
Oh, they're not?
No, this is a group from New Orleans. This is not our local high school.
Thought it said something about North Middlesex.
I mean, it does say North. It's NOLA.
Okay,
but
so let me explain something to you. Sorry. Service Learning, there is a NOLA Service Learning at North Middlesex Regional High School. They have helped the Townsend Conservation Land Trust with trail building for probably the last 5 or 6 years. And they are required to do community service in town. And my guess is this is that same group. They're called NOLA Service Learning because normally, prior to the pandemic, they would go over spring vacation to New Orleans to help with home building from Hurricane Katrina. So I would check and see if that is a NOLA Service Learning program at the high school. And I would just like to say that they are wonderful.
That's awesome.
If you can get them to help you with anything that you need, they are just so very helpful. That's all I'll say.
Veronica, I just have a question on how does it work? Do they have to sign a waiver to do any service for us? What is okay, so you need to look into it. They sign with the high school, and typically they come with a few chaperones with them. So there's usually the advisor and sometimes a couple parents are with them, sometimes 2 advisors, but there are adults. Well, they're adults too, in a sense. They're high school students. And so the waivers that they've signed have been with the high school. You might want to check with our insurance to see if there's anything required, our being the town's insurance. And then the other thing is that sometimes there are picture requirements. You can or cannot take pictures of some of the students. They do the picture waiver thing, but that's done with the high school because they help in a lot of places. I know they've helped the TEO. They've helped the Land Trust. I don't know what other organizations in the area, but they're wonderful. You could
talk to the advisor and he'll let you know.
Well, this is the NOLA group from New Orleans, though, so maybe it's just their counterpart.
They
group.
go to New Orleans.
What makes you think they're from New Orleans?
He said
I know why you think that, because it says my group of 25 volunteers is interested with working you during our service trip the week of April 18th through April 22nd. We are currently looking to do a local trip this year. That's why they're from here, because it says we're currently looking to do a local trip this year. They're not going to New Orleans. They want to stay here.
They used to go to New Orleans every year.
But
and,
like because of COVID.
And they would help us then in May, sometimes in March. They've also worked with us during the pandemic in December. We've done some work before the snow hit the ground. They helped us on the Pheasant Ridge trails. They built the Howard M. Stein Trail with us. They also helped on the one on Clement Road, the Ajo property. They're really wonderful. And they are probably not going on their trip this year. So I'm going to step out here. I just wanted to say that.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, so does anybody off the top of their head think of anything that they could help us with?
Yes.
Okay.
Whole Japanese knotweed out of the parking lot down there.
Invasives.
Yank it right out by the roots.
Well, if Al's going to help us with that, I don't know if we need them to.
Hope he's got something.
Yeah, well, what are their limitations? Can they use power tools? And
they can't go to work for you, okay? No.
I'm sure that's a really good question. We'll have to get the answer to that.
Saws or whatnot. And so
we're going to have to reach out to Nathan. Jessica, would you mind reaching out to Nathan and asking what the limitations and the scope of their work is?
Sure thing.
And then that way we can submit some recommendations and get them to do some great stuff for us.
Oh, that'd be great to go around and pull knotweed from all the sides of the road all over the place.
You can't just pull.
Yeah, you can. It's right out by the roots. It's a beautiful thing. What it is?
No, you have to actually wait till it, because it grows vegetatively and by seed. You really have to wait till it's just about to seed and then yank it, and you have to do it.
So we're coming up on that right now.
Several years in a row to be effective.
Well, it's already seeded.
Because it spreads by rhizomes. So you leave any of the roots in the ground, even a tiny little one, it's going to come back.
Well, if anybody wants to go down and take a look at the knotweed in the parking lot down there, I'm more than happy to do a site walk.
And so, Colby, you know all about this stuff. So Jen's crazy about the barberry down there. Maybe we could look at that. Maybe they could help with that.
Yeah. Yep.
Is now a good time to deal with barberry?
Yeah, I think that.
It hasn't bloomed yet. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you could take a look at it, because there's so much of it down there. I don't know we would have to talk to Al about it, because it's like right on the riverfront. You don't want to destroy it.
You need to talk to National Heritage. You're going to go through the
Right. So I think that the best way to deal with it is to basically just cut it back until, so that trail can be used. But I don't know. But we'll have to I think we should definitely take a walk down there to look at the invasives. So, all right, great. So Jessica's going to reach out to him. And in the meantime, if anybody has any ideas, you can forward them to Jessica so she can bring it to her conversation with the representative.
If we ultimately end up having them try to help with invasive removal, do we have means to get them gloves and provide all the hauling off-site?
That's another thing we have to look into also. We don't know if they have their own supplies or we have to provide them, or
they'll haul off-site if they bag it, and it can get brought to the transfer station.
Okay.
All right. So 5.1, members of the Conservation Commission have received their MAC certification. Joan Savoy and Jessica.
All right.
Congratulations.
Bravo. In one class away. One class. Okay. So what about you, James? Okay. Maybe reach out to Lindsay and ask her.
Yeah, this go around, I didn't have time.
And I keep missing.
We'll make sure you get, we get your membership, and then you can start taking classes.
As soon as it comes up, we'll give you plenty of notice.
Yeah, and Jessica, she'll tell you the procedure, because you sign up for it, you have to get us the invoice before you do the class,
Right.
Otherwise they get grumpy. It's not a big deal, but.
Okay. 6.0, items for discussion at next meeting. Okay. We are going to vote on the fee schedule. So the fee schedule, next meeting will be April 13th. So we'll probably be discussing the volunteers and what they'll be doing with volunteers from NOLA's service program.
The woman from DCR may be here at the next meeting for
DCR
for the ACEC talk. I might
have one. Oh, go ahead, Joan.
I might have an updated brownfield list by now.
Yeah, I will anticipate the updated brownfield.
Notice I said might.
Possibility. I'll put a question mark next to it. I have one. Vote for officers. We now have a 6-person board, and we can vote for officers. So that will be on the agenda.
You voted before, but.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, we voted to not vote.
We voted to not vote.
So I'd like to discuss it at the next meeting.
Discuss it?
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion on possibility of voting.
Make you be the chair.
We're not going to throw that. You're safe. You know how on the game show, there's somebody who's safe in a round? He's safe in that round.
Because you still have one more opening.
We do. It's true.
Yeah.
A
I
vacancy.
don't think it should stop us. I'm just.
All right. We have one vacancy.
For now, we may not. You never know. Okay.
Well, not if someone has experience.
Not if somebody has already been on the board before.
Be on task.
Our next meeting will be Wednesday, April 13th, 2022, 7 p.m. at the BOS Chambers, 2nd floor. This meeting will also be held via virtual Zoom remote in accordance with COVID-19 safe meeting guidelines. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do our first executive session. So do we have a motion?
To end this meeting.
Do we have?
To be motion to end this and then enter executive? How do you do that?
We need a motion to go into executive session and then adjourn from executive session.
So we don't adjourn from this?
No.
Okay.
So then after we
All right. Madam Chair, I make a motion to enter an executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares this in regards to Westcon versus Townsend Conservation Commission. I need a second.
I second it.
Colby, are you in favor of going into executive session and adjourning from executive session at this time? Okay. Joan, are you in favor?
In favor.
James Gates, are you in favor?
Yes.
And Jennifer Eaton, yes, in favor. So that is unanimous.
So we'll take a 2-minute break so I can use the restroom.
2-minute break.
Before.
Granted.
And
Hartley, do you mind stopping the broadcast and the recording and giving me hosting powers?